I will translate for you.
Okay, so how much do you understand English? No tanto?
Levante la mano los que entienden inglés. Levante la mano, bien arriba. Ahora bajen la mano. ¿Quién tiene problemas para entender el inglés? Levante la mano, sin pena. Todos entienden inglés. Okay, bueno, so if something needs to translate, I will translate for you.
So if you don't understand my English, please raise your hand, because you are close to America and Japan. Maybe you can speak English better than me. So. Yeah, but let's see. Have you prepared the pieces which I wrote on the brochure?
¿Alguien preparó los pasajes?
Practice. Okay, so.
Levante la mano, por favor. Abraham, ¿quién más preparó los pasajes? Juan, Edgardo, Uriel. Ayer me dijiste, Uriel. Pasa, Uriel.
Okay,
Pasa.
So today I'm going to talk about timpani history, and I will think about how to play timpani piece by piece, because nowadays we have a lot of new information about old style of timpani. Like about 50 years ago, all the timpanists were thinking about, no books are left, timpani is really easygoing instrument. But nowadays we have a lot of old books like this one. It's a timpani book, timpani etude book, which was written in 1795. So that means about Mozart, Beethoven years. They already had a professional etude book, and they had philosophy, and they had so many ideas about how to play timpani. And also about the timpani system, you have very nice Adams timpani here, but when Beethoven has composed symphonies, they have totally different type of timpani. Nowadays in my orchestra we have quite same type of really old baroque timpani. But also there are so many mysteries about how they play timpani, because maybe you can imagine that how bad quality skins they were using, and nowadays we have quite good quality of skins, but still it's really hard to control. So in the 18th centuries they had so much difficulties to control the skin tension. So they have special technique about it. I will talk about this kind of thing. So let's start about Mozart, Zauberflöte. But before talking about Mozart, I will talk about the early days of the timpani histories. Like nobody knows when the timpani started, but it is thought that this timpani is a word from Greece time, so like before the Jesus Christ was born, they had already timpani. But of course they didn't have certain pitch of the timpani, so it was just like kind of drum, but they put the skins on some kind of kettles, and also they had some wooden kettles, so it's quite different type of things. But for example, in Iran and Persian countries, they still have same type of the timpanis. It is sometimes called nagara. Many types of old drums they have. And dabu, it's a straight type of the kettles, so not like this, but it's straight. And they are still using such kind of drums for some military festival, and we think they are the grandfathers of timpani. And the time when Europe imported timpani was the difficult time between Turkish countries and Europe. They had so many wars, which almost impossible to follow all the wars happening. But 1 year, the Turkish military surrounded Vienna, and they had a military band to just menacing the country, but they couldn't succeed to invade Vienna. So after the war, they just left so many instruments. Then the Viennese people found, oh, what's this? And one of the instruments was kind of timpani. And yeah, as you see nowadays world, when the war happens, also the process of the peace that happening. So one day they sent their Yaniçar band, Turkish military band, to the king of the Genova in Italy as a gift. Then there were some also timpani instrument. And then the European countries started, oh, we can maybe use those timpani for the music, and Monteverdi used timpani for his opera, and it's the beginning of the 17th century, and there were written some notes and some books about timpani. So that's the beginning of the timpani. And but in the beginning, they just wrote the timpani notes, sometimes as banda turca. So in early composition of the Rossini, he just wrote banda turca without writing any certain notes. And actually, this continued to Giuseppe Verdi opera scene. If you open his manuscript, the percussion part is not written, and there's written only banda turca. And but Giuseppe Verdi didn't want them to write totally freely the drum part. Instead, they make the Giuseppe Verdi made a patent, the license, who can compose the percussion part of the Giuseppe Verdi opera. And one was the timpanist at the Teatro alla Scala, and the other one was a publisher, like about 20 to 30 names were written there. But in the early days of the Giuseppe Verdi opera, it was almost like an improvisation thing. But it was allowed only for certain player or publishers who can improvise. So sometimes when you play Giuseppe Verdi's opera, you feel a bit strange about the notes because it was not written by Giuseppe Verdi. Instead, some percussionists wrote. But after that, for example, in Aida opera, he himself composed the percussion part. So, first let's see this book. This is really interesting, which is written by Johann Ernst Altenburg, who was a trumpet player, but made a working union of the trumpet player and timpani player. And those time, trumpet players and timpani players were really, really important figure for the royal orchestra, court musicians. And this book is really interesting. And like there are so many pages about how to play trumpet and timpani, and it's even written about the salary of the timpani player. It's funny that it's written like the salary of the timpanist must be twice as much as normal musicians, and he must have a white horse as a gift, like this kind. So timpani players always noble, also nowadays maybe, but yeah, trumpet players and timpani players were thought like really big figure for musicians. And in this book, we can find some etude like this. They are written also about how to play timpani. there are so many stuff written. So let's move on to Mozart Zauberflöte orchestra study. So is there somebody who wants to play Mozart Zauberflöte? Have you practiced it? See? Okay, okay. Woo! So you play American opera, smoking and western? Yeah, right? Do you have notes or?
No.
Okay, okay, okay. So, yeah, you can change the range. What is your name again? Fun. Fun. Okay, so.
Tocayo.
Okay, Fun. Could you play the first passages as you wish? Like with your imaginary orchestra. As you want.
Naka.
Okay, thank you. Just a short passages. And playing timpani is almost like archaeology. How do you call it?
Arqueología.
Archaeology. Like a day before yesterday, we went to the museum and we watched so many monuments and so many old things from Mexico. But reading Mozart notes is quite same to analyze. Because nowadays we read, oh, okay, this is for so fermata, ta ta, fermata, ta ta. We count it like this. But I must say, it's a way of modern reading of the notes. So there is one famous conductor, Nicholas Harnoncourt. He said that music was written for the musician of those days, but not for us.
Mm.
So at that time, probably they were not reading or counting. And this note, still fortissimo. They didn't think like that. And also, amazing thing was how they played timpani was totally different. So, as you see, the old method book, he was written like, when you play fortissimo or forte, you have to play center. I can't believe that, but it was written. But recently, I found that the timpani of those days was a bit different. I can show you the photo of the timpani of those days. This is you can read it on the internet, but this is thesis written by Cornelius Altmann. He's working in Dresden as a timpani player. And this is quite long and interesting thing. But he was written about how they made metals and how they import and export metals in Germany. And yeah, here you can see the map of Germany. So here's one city called Grüntal, and this was the center of the metals. And Dresden was really close. So in each cities there were metalworking guys, and they were making, for example, cooking stuff and kettles, literary kettles, and also some weapons. And timpani was thought in the part of their work. Of course, they didn't make so many timpanis like some weapon or cooking stuff, but there were the working groups, which is called guild in German world. So there was a guild of timpani makers in those days. And there are many photos and studies like there are the cooking kettles, and their materials. They control the thickness of the metals, blah blah blah, and they use also hand to make kettles. There are so many interesting. And those are the timpanists were playing in Mozart and Beethoven days. And there are so many beautiful photos. And funny thing of the timpani is, in, for example, Netherlands, there are many kettles left in the garden as a pot for some trees or something, because they make so many timpanis. In each churches, they had their own timpanis, and nowadays we are not using it. So probably some of the church just left those timpanis in the gardens, and
in the future will be laptops and cell phones. No?
Yeah, exactly. And the people didn't know, oh, what is this? Is it important? And they are using the timpani as a table or pot. So you can find quite easily in Netherlands, like some restaurants have timpani and putting some wood on the top and using as a table or something. But nowadays, there are some timpani collectors, and they're always working and trying to find timpani. And, so ask some people who's having timpani as a pot and may I buy it. And they buy old timpani which is used for another use, and they are repairing those timpanis. So we have nowadays quite a lot of old timpani. And look at this. They are the timpanis in 18th centuries and 17th centuries. In the middle, they have kind of trumpet, which we don't have it nowadays. And we are still testing it, but at that time, as I said, the skin quality was totally different. It was thick and not stable, so it was really hard to make pure intonation. And when you play bongos or jambes, those type of instruments, you can sometimes hit in the middle. But if you play on the edge, you can hear intonation. But in the middle, it's totally different. And timpani is also same. If you hit the center, that wave goes like this to the edge.
Sure. There are better markers over there.
So the wave goes like this, like boom, like this wave. So that's the sound of those type of sound. And if you hit the timpani, so this is creating the wave of the vibration like this. But if you play close to the edge, the pattern of the wave is totally different. if you hit this point first, the skin vibrates this side, and this side goes down. So like when you hit here, it vibrates like this, and like this, and like this. So, you know. So this is the sound of the timbale nowadays, but when they were playing probably Mozart's Alba Flotte, the timpanists were playing center. And here was a resonator to make a good intonation resonance. So we are still not testing, but we think with those types of timpanis, you can hit the center of the timpani. So of course nowadays we never play center. It doesn't make any intonation. But probably they were playing. Like this. And the book which I showed a little bit before, there were so many interesting things written. Like timpanist is a big artist, so you have to show how is the music with your movement. And it is written in German word, circulation or something like that. So I think those times timpani were hitting timpani like like you know, like this kind of movement. I don't know, but we are still researching it. But some artistic, like a pop drama. Yeah. I guess so. Yeah, they are also another type of. And this timpani is made of. So let's go back to how to play Mozart. So nowadays we have to think so many things to play Mozart, and also conductor knows many things, and sometimes we know better than conductor, and he knows better many things. So we have to anyway compromise, because we have just modern timpani which can create really good tuning. But also with modern timpanis, we can change the hitting point. If you change 1 millimeter, sound changes. So if I play in the beginning, like little bit of device. For example. Maybe in the auditions you shouldn't do it, because but in the orchestra you can try, because you know like the theory of my professor was working in Berlin Deutsche Oper for many years, but it was 50 years ago. So his philosophy was like, if it's written fortissimo and it is not written in the middle, you have to play totally same quality of notes. So the timpani sound 50 years ago for Mozart overture was like kind of like this. But nowadays you can play more violent. So So Juan, what part is interesting for you in this
whether C or whether
yeah,
well,
famous part of orchestra study? Yeah, you can sometimes see in the orchestra excerpt, in the orchestra auditions. Yes, maybe from here. Yeah. 186. Thank you. So, yeah, I normally play opposites, so sometimes I get confused with it. Yeah. Let's see this phrase, how I suggest it. It's about phrasing. So, as I said to you, 50 years ago, timpani player was playing really neat, precise, same intonation, same dynamics, same touch. But nowadays we make so much phrasing. Do you have some Baroque orchestra in Mexico?
Yeah,
Maybe.
yeah. There are some Baroque
Baroque
orchestras.
orchestra, yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe you have to play in the Baroque orchestra someday. It's just written like this. But as I said to you, in the old books, it is written, timpanists must change dynamics and make a nuance as much as possible on the responsibility of your artistic imagination. So we can imagine that the timpanists those times were playing quite freely to analyze how Mozart composed the piece. So let's think about phrasing. There are so many possibilities, infinite possibilities of phrasing. So one pattern is so this is the type of the kind of crescendo. Yeah, of course, crescendo or phrasing is totally different thing, but sometimes we can get easily the imagination of how sound goes. And as a matter of the percussionist, we have to be very practical to think about phrasing. Otherwise, we can have only the one hit of the drums, so it's not like strings or winds, so we don't have long notes. So we have to practically think about the phrasing. And second one is and maybe third one, crescendo and diminuendo. So we can simply think about three types of phrasing, and you can do it in the orchestra. And if you think about phrasing, you must watch orchestra score. Yeah, here. Maybe some copyright, bro.
They got you.
Yeah, it's very bad. Yeah, it's okay. On this part, the flute is playing. If you play with the flute, also, the second topic is how we play 16 notes. At that time when Mozart composed this piece, strings were totally different. So nowadays, violin players practicing many things, la, détaché, blah, blah, blah. But they had totally different bow, totally different instrument. So the weight of the rhythm was a bit different. Dian, dian, dian. So if you play in the baroque orchestra or even in modern orchestra nowadays, conductor can ask such kind of things. So it can be a bit shorter. So not like da 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 da. So well, play this timpani note like a king of the orchestra and great interpretation of Mozart music.
Don't say that. Don't say that because they believe it's so easy.
Just imitate. You are like a king of the orchestra. Yeah. So don't forget quarters. Yeah. And maybe phrasing off. Good? Very good. Oh, nice. Okay. So I wrote William Tell, but maybe we can skip it because we don't have so much time. So the next is Beethoven Fifth. Who wants to play?
Beethoven, la quinta. Vamos, jóvenes, veteranos, Luisito.
Es que yo preparé la séptima, pero no sé si se puede dos.
¿Quiere doblete,
No,
joven?
no, no, no.
Escoja una.
La séptima, la
La
séptima.
séptima.
You can decide.
Oh, no. But, I don't know if they prepared the fifth.
Ah, okay.
¿Alguien preparó la quinta? ¿Nadie? Nadie. No one prepared.
No prepare. Okay, okay.
The seventh.
Seventh. Okay.
Seventh.
Okay. So before going to seventh, I show you the funny scene of Beethoven Fifth. So, what is this? It's written in the end of Beethoven Symphony. And maybe you are lucky because this is really new information, like some months or 1 year ago. They finally found why this is written like this.
Why?
So 50 years ago, some conductors asked like, yeah, this tremolo is maybe faster than this, so you can play faster tremolo. But musically, it's really strange. It goes dun, bum, 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 dun, 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 dun. Then last one is just tutti. Bum. When tutti players are playing long notes, it's strange. I didn't believe that, but some conductor asked it. Or just like, I don't know, there are many ways. So you can listen all recordings and timpani players playing some strange things here. But nowadays, finally we found with the technologies why this note is written like this. Have you ever seen the manuscript of Beethoven?
No.
He was writing, he was really bad writer. So it's really hard work to understand, like he's not doing like this. So sometimes when you open the score of Beethoven's, there are so many corrections because it's really hard to understand. But on this point, in the first version, Beethoven wrote like this. So it's interesting. In the end of these symphonies, very famous symphonies, Beethoven wanted solistic timpani hit. Bam, 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 dun, then. I did it in the last concert without asking to the conductor. But after that, he narrated this like this. And he put it like this. So he wanted a bit shorter. Then after that, it's not so clear, but he wanted tremolo for all the notes. And yeah, it's like that. So when they published the scores, like, yeah, maybe this is tremolo, like, yeah. So this is a new research of the Beethoven system.
Wow.
So you can talk with the conductors, which one do you want? But probably in the last version, he just wanted for tremolo for one bar. But we lost so many original copies. And last one was World War II. We lost quite important manuscript of Beethoven, so we are still researching it, but nobody knows still what is the last wish of the Beethoven. Probably final hit with timpani, probably no. Okay, so let's go to Beethoven 7th now. What is your name?
Abraham.
Abraham.
Sí.
So, please play as you wish.
Thank you.
this rhythm of timpani, there's one funny story. One Japanese professor, Nakatani sensei, who we met in Kyoto. Yeah. He was a principal timpanist of the Osaka Symphony Orchestra, and at that time, Takashi Asahina, the old Japanese conductor, was conducting this orchestra. And you know, we didn't have internet on those days, and such kind of Beethoven symphony was still like a Bible, like some really untouchable thing of the music. So conductors picked him up. The Nakatani sensei was about 20 or 30 years old, and he played. No. Beethoven is not like that. No. You're not understanding it. Then. And third one, the conductor asked, maybe you have to go to Germany. Then he decided to study in Germany, and he even had to quit the orchestra. So he just left the important timpani position of the Osaka Symphony Orchestra and went to Berlin and had a lesson with Terrihen, who was a timpanist in the Korean days. And he played this note. He was very nervous in front of the great master of the Berlin Philharmonic, and he played. So what do you think about my tam-tam-tam-tam? And Terrihen said, oh, good. But, you know, this rhythm has something that it has some magical power which put us to some mysterious souls of the Beethoven. Like, it's really philosophical. And you know, this is polyrhythmia. This rhythm is polyrhythmia because we are playing at the same time. So one professor of mine asked me to play this rhythm. Like this. He was also a timpanist of very good phase of Berlin, so he was like, just imagine incarnation, right and left, and world never ends. So. And my second professor says, yeah, you have to just show the clarity, so we can play. Same order of the right and left. Also, we can play these notes like. You can choose one of them, but you have to think about the good point and bad point. So which one do you like to play?
I think in terms of phrasing,
Yeah.
I like this one.
This one.
But I never try alternate. When I try alternate, my teacher told me that try
this one.
right, left.
Yeah. But how do you play this one? With the rest.
Sorry.
Yeah.
My pattern is, I think, right, and left, right.
So this one.
I repeat the right.
So this one, right, left, right?
Yes.
Okay. Then this one? Do you change?
No.
So some timbalist changes order of the hand, order of the handle. Here right, right, left, and here right, left, right. So there are many options. If I play these notes like this, it's how we learn from Gregorio. It's polyrhythmia. If you play tan 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 tan, you can exaggerate quite easily. Of course, we are professional. We can play equally, but change. It depends on the conductors, because there's no answer for this passage. Could you play?
Again?
Again? Yeah. Maybe you got new imagination.
Okay.
But do you know who is playing with you?
Yeah, the horns.
Yeah.
The horns. When you play these passages, you have to listen. So don't rush and play. So maybe last one, little bit. It's called up Brazilian. That's phrasing up. And last one maybe almost fortissimo. Also, there are two philosophies. You can keep all the time tempo like drum player of the rock, or we can follow horn players, as you say. Bam, 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 bam. So all the time bit different. Bam, 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 bam. After horn players, bam, little bit longer. So. Let's be careful. Let's not play. Very good. Thank you.
So the next piece. Is somebody prepare Schumann? No, Schumann no. So this is a Schumann Symphony No. 1 notes. Do you see the difference from the?
Before we go to Schumann, I have one question.
Yeah.
When you play Beethoven and Mozart, you always choose wooden mallets
or you
Very
change?
good question. Yeah, very good question. Let's talk about a little bit about sticks. As I said, we use modern timpani nowadays. Actually, I sometimes use real bulb timpani and old timpani, like these photos. Not this one. In my orchestra, we have this timpani. It's called Dresner timpani. It's written 1960, but ours are 30 or 20. So they had a timpani maker, Dresner, Schwank and they were making such type of timpani, 100 timpanis. And those timpanis are really, really simple. When you turn the handle, this part goes down. So gives attention to the head. And if you lose the timpanis, this part goes up and attention loses. So it's a really, really easy going type of timpani. But good point of those timpani is that it never gets broken because it's really, really simple. Just give attention like this. But difficulties of those timpanis are sometimes those hoops, counter hoops or flesh hoops, gets distorted quite easily. Because the mechanism of the timpanis, most difficult thing is to keep the same tension to the head. So those times in 1930, 40, they still didn't have perfect technique to make perfect circle hoop and perfect tension controller. So I have same type of timpani in my orchestra, but the tension depends on the lot. So I have sometimes difficulties to tune, and I'm also challenging to put goat skin, not calf skin, to the goat head. So sometimes it's really difficult to control. As I mentioned about those time, Mozart time and Beethoven time timpani, probably they were playing, no, not probably, definitely they were playing center of the timpani. And those times they were using such type of wooden sticks, but much bigger and much thicker. Probably because they were playing in the center, like djembe. So they need to put really heavy and weight into the timpani, and they put velvet on the head and making such sound. So original timpani sound was really different from modern days, but probably you can imagine some velvet head and playing those timpani with a trumpet and resonate it. So you can imagine the sound of the Beethoven and Mozart, and you can choose nowadays sticks. So it goes, of course, not like this big, but probably such kind of things. And we have to also think about the combination of the sound with wooden stick and plastic head, because, for example, in bongos, natural skins, we can create good attack, but I personally don't like wooden stick sound with plastic head. So if I have to play some Mozart and Beethoven symphonies with Adams symphony, I use, as you are using, this kind of things, or flanel sticks, but as clear as possible. Good. do you know this type of timpani?
No.
Yeah.
You know? No?
It's a Viennese.
Yes, Viennese type, yeah.
Viennese.
It's called a Schneller. So